All right, it's Monday, July 7th, regular session of the Cerro Gordo County Board of Supervisors. The first item on the agenda is the agenda itself and the minutes from the June 30th meeting.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the agenda and the minutes is presented. Any further comment? All in favor? Aye. Passes. Public comment? Get down to county auditor.
Claims are prepared and in front of you, sir.
Move to approve claims as presented.
Motion and a second to approve claims is presented. Any further comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes. Payroll.
Have a warrant registered for the weekend dated June 28th, 2025. Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the payroll warrant is presented. Any further comment there? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Drainage.
I have no new drainage project.
Okay, we'll go down to item number 5, the recorder's quarterly.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the recorder's quarterly. Any comment? All in favor?
Aye.
I should have done 6 too, but sheriff's monthly report of fees.
I move to approve.
Motion and a second to approve the sheriff's. Any further comment there? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Who wants to do item number 7? Did you get that?
Brandon emailed that to me on Friday. It must have came up kind of quickly that he needed this detour agreement with the DOT. But he obviously is out of town.
He said that he has no problem with this and
Right.
would recommend the board to sign, so I'd move to approve per the engineer's recommendation.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the agreement with the DOT is presented. Any further comment? All in favor? Aye. Do you have that here?
I didn't know if someone from his staff would have.
Be able to just go into the entry or start talking about it, and then once it hits, we can go into the public hearing.
So you want to give us some background, Adam, on number 4?
Well, I'm going to defer to an engineer from Bolton and Mink who's joining us and can give us a little background prior to the actual opening of the public hearing. You're looking at the DD 57 information. Yeah, so I'm not the engineer on this. I'm filling in for Tyler. Tyler had another obligation this morning at 10, continued hearing on the other side of the state. So I will do my best. If there's any questions, I'll have to defer to Tyler and we'll have to come back to this. But I've spoken to him. He said overall the project went very well.
And I'm sorry, I didn't catch your.
Sorry. My name is John Rosengrant. I'm out of our Ames office.
Okay.
I also do drainage. This is probably 60% of the work that I do. So if I was not involved in this one.
No, I get it.
The questions I can address those I can help you with.
I just want to know your name, so I didn't say, hey, you,
Yeah.
drainage engineer.
Your name's not attached to it.
Correct. Correct. I'm just going off the information I got from Tyler the last couple of days. It sounds like it went fairly smoothly. He did talk about a slight delay because of the spoils when they came out were very wet. I remember talking to him about this. It was just a very wet, muddy area. So when the spoils came out, they had to dry before they could level them. So that delayed some of the work, waiting for that to dry out enough to be workable. And then because of that, it missed a seeding window. So it ended up being completed in May of this year. I believe the completion date was supposed to be in the winter or early spring. Overall, the contract was close to on budget. There's actually a net decrease of $2,000. That's associated with final quantities, type and things like that we guessed needed to be done, but we didn't know for a fact. At this point, we were aware of one claim for damage it's from Jim Dornkamp, who is a tenant for Gloria Washburn. In addition to that, we also recommended crop damages. So maybe I'll touch on the submitted claim. This is for the Washburn property. There was a crossing, a private low water crossing that had been through the creek before. The project had attempted to stabilize that and allow that to continue to be used after the ditch was cleaned out past that crossing. It was not sloped well enough by the contractor. And so Jim Dornkamp went down and made some modifications to it, put in some rock, put in some additional grading. He's included a couple of invoices here. Invoice for $400 to clean out the crossing and a second invoice for rock totaling $400 for the clean out and $750 for the additional fine rock to go on that crossing. The fines were not part of the contract with Larson, so we could have had him come back, but we would have to pay him for the material and that extra work of putting that in. I've talked with Tyler. The prices that the tenant submitted are very reasonable and actually probably less than what it would have cost to have Larson do it. So we are recommending that be paid as an additional damage.
This time I'll open the public hearing on this. If you want to continue, go ahead.
Sure. As I said, this claim by the Jim Dornkamp is actually probably less than what we would have paid the contractor as a change order to do the same work. And it's done in a way that's satisfactory to the landowner. Honestly, and a lot of times it's better to let the landowner do it how they want and pay them that cost than try to get it right ourselves and know that it's still not going to be quite right when we're done. So we are recommending that claim by Jim Dornkamp be paid. One of the confusing things under drainage law, damages go to the landowner and the landowner has to pay that to the tenant. So I don't know how Cerro Gordo necessarily handles that, but that's my understanding is that that damage will be paid to the Washburn property and then the Washburn family would have to pay Jim the dollars in that claim. In addition to that claim, Tyler also included in his packet, there's a map at the very back and then a table here showing the acres that were damaged by the project where the spoils were leveled, things of that nature that we are recommending crop damages or crop payments be made for on the Washburn property, which is the longer stretch of that, a little bit downstream here, looking at 2.33 acres of buffer reseeding for a total of recommended total of $699. And for the M3M LLC, 1.14 acres of buffer reseeding totaling $732.6. That higher dollar total for M3M does include some construction fence or construction repair for a fence on that property line. Both of those numbers are based on, in the top left of that table, a buffer reseeding of $300 per acre and for fence repair, $12 per rod. He's got 32.5 rods of fence there being restored. Total damages, in addition to the Dornkamp claim, is $1,431.60 that we're recommending paid to the landowners. We do hold retainage currently for the contractor in the amount of $3,000, $3,019.25. We are recommending acceptance of the contract, payment of the crop damages to the landowners, payment of the claim to the Dornkamps, and then at completion of the contract would be today. There'd be a 1-year warranty from today for defects in the work that the contractor would be responsible for. And that $3,000 retainage would be released 30 days from today. And that would close out the last of the financial responsibilities for the construction.
Good enough. Any questions?
No, there's no one on video or in the audience that would like to speak further on this. I would make a motion to close this portion of the public hearing.
Motion and a second to close this portion of the public hearing. Any further comment? All in favor?
Aye.
So next up, we have B and C.
I'd probably move to approve items B and C as presented per the engineer's recommendation.
Second.
Motion and a second to accept the work and pay the damages as presented on item 4B and C. Any further comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Passes. So next up, we got one more, correspondence communication, under announcements, I think. We as the board would like to officially recognize our budget director, Heather Mathery, and as your department head.
So Heather, we'd like to recognize you for the certificate of achievement for excellence in financial reporting awarded from the Governmental Financial Officers Association. So there's a lot of words in that, so.
Great job. Thank you. Speech.
No.
I've got no one to thank but myself.
With that,
I'm going to adjourn.
Second.
we have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.
Right.
Thank you.
Put that to the stack of all the other ones.
Well.